Hello and welcome students to this module on leaf types. The name of my unit is Morphology of Angiosperms and unit name is leaf types. The outline in this module will be, you will learn the types of leaves, simple and compound leaves, types of simple leaves and types of compound leaves. The learning outcomes, that means at the end of this module, you will be able to distinguish between simple and compound leaves. You will be able to identify the types of simple and compound leaves. Now we know in angiosperms there are two kinds of leaves. Okay? Here basically we deal with simple and compound leaves. Simple leaves means they are not incised. The lamina is not incised. It may have serrations, dentations, but the lamina is not incised. Whereas in compound leaves, the lamina is incised to such an extent that it reaches either the midrib or the rachis to form leaflets, or it reaches the base of the lamina to form leaflets, and these leaflets are arranged at the top of the petiole. Now you see compound leaves, there are two kinds, pinnately compound leaves, palmately compound leaves. As I have just said, you can see in the slide you have pinnately compound leaves wherein the lamina is incised to such an extent that it reaches the rachis or the midrib, dividing the entire leaf into leaflets which are borne on either side of the midrib or the rachis. Whereas in palmately compound, the lamina is incised or cut to such an extent that all the leaflets are attached to a single point at the top of the petiole. Now what is a pinnately compound leaf? A compound leaf incised, again I am repeating, a compound leaf incised to form leaflets which are on either side of the rachis or the midrib. Palmately compound leaf is incision of the compound leaf wherein the leaflets are arranged at the top of the petiole. Now pinnately compound leaves are of four types. We can see unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate and decompound leaves. Again unipinnate are of two kinds, peripinnate and imperipinnate. In the next slide we see what are these pinnately compound unipinnate leaves. Here the leaflets are borne directly on the midrib or the rachis. There are two kinds of unipinnate leaves, peripinnate and imperipinnate. In peripinnate leaves, we can see the leaflets occur in even pairs and terminal leaflet is missing. Example, cassia fistula, as you can see in your slide. In peripinnate leaves, there occurs a terminal leaflet resulting in odd number of leaflets, as you see in rosa. You can see in the slide, you can see the picture of rosa species wherein there is a terminal leaflet, and wherein in cassia fistula there is no terminal leaflet resulting in even pairs of leaflets, and here since the terminal leaflet is present, it results in odd number of leaflets. Next we go is bipinnate leaves. Bipinnate leaves also called as twice pinnate. Twice pinnate means the primary axis or the midrib produces secondary branches, and these secondary branches wherein the leaflets are broken into still lesser degree, which are called as pinnules. So pinnates are broken into pinnules, which you can see in the picture. You can see the secondary branches and the pinnules attached to the secondary branches. So it is twice pinnate, or we say it as bipinnate. Now we go to tripinnate, which is also called as thrice pinnate. Here the primary branches produce secondary branch, the secondary branch produce tertiary branch, and the pinnules or the leaflets are borne on the tertiary branches. This we see in Moringa oleifera. Then last degree of pinnate leaves is decompound, wherein they are more than thrice pinnate. The lamina is so much incised that it just forms green leafy stalks, as you see in fennel leaves. And also one example which I have cited here is Coriander sativum, which you can see in the older leaves, it is a decompound leaf. Now we go to the next slide explaining to us palmately compound leaves. We have four kinds of palmately compound leaves: unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate and quadrifoliate. Now let's see what is unifoliate. How do we know that this is a compound leaf? Here we can see just a single leaf attached or articulated to a winged petiole. Okay, so this we see in oranges, and here example cited is citrus lemon. The very fact that this leaf is articulated to the winged petiole, it shows that it is a compound leaf. So unifoliate, single leaf, unifoliate means single folia, and it is a compound leaf since it is articulated, and we see this in citrus lemon. Next is bifoliate. Very good example is Hardwickia, which is very rare also. You can see two leaflets being held at a single point on the top of the petiole. This is called as bifoliate since there are two folias. We also see this in Principia, Balanitis, and the example which we have cited here is Hardwickia. Next is trifoliate compound, palmately compound leaf. Here, as the picture shows us, you can see the picture of oxalis species here, wherein three folias, three leaflets are attached to a common point or articulated to a common point at the top of the petiole. This we can see in oxalis, and since there are three folias, three leaflets, we call this palmately compound leaf as a trifoliate leaf. Next is quadrifoliate. The picture shows Marsilia, which is showing four leaflets attached to the common point or the top of the petiole. This palmately compound leaf is showing four leaflets, and therefore we call it as quadrifoliate. We see this in the pteridophyte Marsilia. Now we come to multifoliate. Multifoliate means more than 5 leaflets which are attached to the common point. We can see this in Bombec species, the cotton tree, which we commonly call as, and we can see that there are more than 6 leaves. Yeah, there are more than 6 leaves attached to the common point at the top of the petiole. You can refer to the references given in your PowerPoint, and also can refer to the site which is shown here, and I hope you have learnt in this module. Before we wind up, let's have a summary of this. Okay, so we have learnt in this module types of leaves, simple leaves, compound leaves, types of compound leaves, that they are pinnately compound, palmately compound, and then what are the different types of pinnately compound leaves, unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate, and decompound leaves. Then we have seen palmately compound leaves which are unifoliate, bifoliate, trifoliate, and quadrifoliate. I hope you have learnt in this module, and a big thank you.